Runway of Kaiju here. This is the Gamera Legacy Collection. As the movie we're going to be looking at today, Gamera vs. Barugon. Gamera vs. Barugon tells the story of a group of men who go treasure hunting for a giant opal, only for that opal to turn out to be an egg, which hatches Barugon, a giant lizard with both freeze and rainbow powers. There's lots of practical fire and even better explosions. They all look great. The projection work is very well done, which is surprising seeing as this is the first movie of the series to be in color. I like how Barugon's eyes open up horizontally, just different from the norm and done well. His rainbow is rotoscoped great, and I'm sure it would have been easier to do solid colors, but the studio went with this almost spray paint fill, and not only does it, I think, make it look more realistic, but I think it looks better on film. Not only the fill, but also how it pulsates in brightness. Just two very smart choices on an otherwise bizarre power. The lighting is great. There's a lot of just natural lighting, which is fine, you can see everything clearly, but there's also a lot of weird brighter colors, such as this light shining behind and on these soldiers, as well as Gamera's shell exhaust, and how great they look reflecting off the water. At times, it's used with smoke, so almost all you can see is the monster outline, and I love it. Some scenes all the light is supposed to be coming from fire, and it works. Back to the natural lighting, extremely well done. Of course, normal settings seems easy, but even here in this cave, there's just light from one overhead hole, yet our characters are lit up and we can see what they are doing. Not only that, but there's a lot of light work. Light under explosions, light on kaiju eyes, the lights on Barugon's back. I don't think I've brought this up in any of my other reviews, but fake or not, I love the aesthetic of breaking bottles. This one tongue scene looks bad, but it's so quickly cut, it's not really a problem. Plus it goes into this great giant practical tongue. This human fight scene is pretty unbelievable. Thankfully, the one that happens later is much better. Natives, I'm not here to say anything about their portrayal, just that natives used as they are in this movie is a boring, unimaginative kaiju movie trope, especially in the Showa era. There are a lot of scenes with no background music, which is something that happens in a lot of movies, but here there's often no background anything. No noises, no animals, no water, no wind, just silence. It's very awkward and it happens a lot, to be honest. The monster fights are kind of lackluster, especially the final one. One thing I do think the new CG-filled kaiju movies can improve on the classics is the quadruped monsters. Barugon is on all fours throughout the movie and is a man in a suit. That being established, his legs are longer than his arms because just the shape of humans. This normally translates into Barugon and basically all four-legged kaiju in film having longer, bent hind legs that don't look natural because that's not how the animals they are emulating look. Additionally, Barugon just doesn't look all that great. His face is almost expressionless and the suit actor doesn't really do anything to help this. Also, his skin is pretty bland and undetailed. I hate how Gamera's arms just stick straight out like Frankenstein's monster when he's breathing fire, and some other times too. Looks weird. This is one of the few Gamera movies that doesn't focus on kids, which is fine. This is also one of the Gamera movies with a real human antagonist. He's not fighting with Gamera, but the movie does focus on him, and he is a scum. Normally we just get aliens that don't seem too bad, just with world-dominating agendas. It's not only contained within the Gamera films. Giant monster movies as a whole are normally missing a good down-to-earth villainous scumbag. Though the guy from Godzilla vs. Mothra 64 was pretty good too. There's not a lot of Gamera in the movie, and the human plotline is fine, but the scenes that string it together can be pretty uninteresting. There's also a lot of just the military trying to figure out ways to defeat the antagonist monster, which is well welcomed and something that would go away in later entries of the series. Gamera vs. Barugon may not be as campy as most of the other Showa Gameras, but that kind of hurts the pacing, because at times this movie can seem slow. And that often lack of music certainly doesn't help.
So that was Gamera versus Barugon. It's also on this one. And I used to have it on this really bad Japanese monster movie collection. But the footage was from this one, which doesn't have English dubbing, but this one does. I don't know why I'm throwing these DVDs all around, but that was Gamera vs. Barugon. It's not bad. I've seen it a ton of times, so it's not really new or exciting to me. But if you haven't watched it, I'd definitely give it a try. If you have any TV shows or movies you want me to review, leave a comment below. And thanks for watching.